Welcome to the Games Revealed podcast brought to you by Bunny Strike Studios. This is James.
And I'm Tyson.
And I'm Shagwa. Oh, wait, he's not here today because he's got other stuff to do. He's enjoying his life.
He's got the COVID. And we'll never see him again.
Not COVID, he's covered, but we're not going to say by what.
Well, either way, I never want to see him again. He's got some kind of sickness.
He's getting down with the sickness. And
he's disturbed.
He's disturbed. Today's game kind of came out of nowhere. We wanted to cover it, so we kind of threw it out our list out a little bit of whack with Valheim. This game it came out of nowhere. It really did. Like, it's a sleeper hit. It's one of those games where it's going to be probably as good or better. It's probably going to perform better than like The Forest, 7 Days to Die. I don't know if it's going to get as good as Minecraft, but like it's killing it right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the player count or what the download is or the sales for Minecraft is. I know it's insane because it's been out for a long time, but I feel like Valheim has a very good running start to get caught up to it.
I don't know if we'll ever get caught up, but it's definitely going to be tailing it at Minecraft because Minecraft sold for what, multiple billions of dollars to Microsoft when it was sold like 8 years ago or whatever, 6 years ago, and so it's crazy. But I'm expecting this to blow up almost as big. There's a lot of other game journalists like PC Gamers saying that this is going to be the big survival game of the year. We'll see though. We'll see, because My Little Pony survival game is going to be coming out soon. And so.
I hear in that one you can actually craft individual saddles for them, and multiples.
Those bronies are going to be very happy with this game.
Now you can ride your pony and with your brony.
Bronies can ride each other.
Mission accomplished.
But not in Valheim, because you're badass Vikings on to take the world with your buddies. And with that...
Yeah, not only are you a Viking, you're a dead Viking that should have went to Valhalla.
Yeah.
But because the freaking, I don't know what it is, the corruption or some bullshit started. Oh, that's what it was. That's the story. Odin, banishes all of his enemies to this place, and they start working against him. So instead of going to Valhalla, you go to Valheim to freaking kill some bitches and hopefully earn your forever reward.
All I know is that this world is beautiful, so those enemies are still getting a great place to live.
Oh yeah, they're lucky. Like, if I would have got banished there, I'd have been like, all right, cool, peace, Odin. Like, we are cool. This is a badass place to live.
Yeah. So with that, the game did sell 4 million copies so far, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, probably more.
That's my numbers from 2 days ago, and it's only on Steam. It is early access at $20 a pop, and it's very affordable. It's very much worth the money. You get tons of time. It's just like Minecraft, but it actually has more content. In some ways, it has more like game content, meaning you have I feel like more to achieve in this. There's more, the monsters get much more massive in scale on how you have to take them down, which is a little different than Minecraft.
And the environment too, like different environments get hard and you deal with different enemies, and so it's just an overall, like, you're gonna get your money's worth out of this game.
Yep, exactly. It at one point had 500,000 gamers at once on the Steam server list or whatever, and that was, I think there's only been 5 or 6 other games that have done that in this quick a time. So it is hitting records like crazy, and all while only having 5 people on their team, on their development team, and they're in Sweden, by the way. So go you guys in Sweden. It's not another I feel like there's a couple of big game companies out of Poland, and so like.
Yeah, especially with what we've been talking. We've been getting a lot of Polish gamers, and
the
so
Medium, Cyberpunk, developers of those, and so go Sweden. It's cool to see other companies outside of the United States and outside of these other big gaming development countries do well. And shout out for making such a good game with 5 people.
Yeah, with 5 people, incredible. Like, I love this game. If this game came out like 8 years ago, I would have already sunk so many countless hours into this, because That was my gaming time, my gaming years, and I want to sink so much time into this right now. But so just insanely fun, and it's all done by 5 people. Blows my freaking mind.
The worst part about all this is that while I'm playing this, I'm thinking of 7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah.
While I'm playing this, I'm like, I want to be shooting zombies. I mean, this game is awesome. It's not the perfect game for me, but
it's
I
the perfect
love
game.
it.
Cut the line.
I love it. It's just there's something about zombies, man. Something about zombies, and so
we do need to play that new alpha.
we do need to play that, and maybe we'll get another podcast episode out because I know people like that game.
Nobody likes that game but us.
Probably. We just listened to that podcast episode over and over, and the analytics went up on it, and that's just. I know I listened to it at least 50 times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you.
But no, the graphics in this game seem very Minecrafty to me.
Yeah, no, after reading some reviews on this, like, it definitely agree with the lo-fi aspect is what a lot of people said. Like, if you've ever watched some of those lo-fi or listened to those lo-fi streams on YouTube, it's not an 8-bit pixelation. It is somewhat of a pixelation though, but it's always kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
And this has that lo-fi feel to it, and I love it.
Yeah, with that music too.
Yeah, both. It's just, it feels like they took the lo-fi music channel on YouTube and made it into a video game that's badass. It is very, for a game that's about like survival and getting effed by big monsters, it's very peaceful at times.
Oh yeah, super peaceful, and then it goes insanely crazy.
It all depends on where you're at too, and so yeah,
I like that music. I wish it was a little different. I like because the continuous music plays, but I think I'm gonna throw a lo-fi beats YouTube on or something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And just mute that music because then it's perfect. So once you said that, I was like, oh, that is exactly what it needs.
I didn't think about that. I do wish, and we haven't. I've played about 12 hours of this. I don't know if there's is there drastically a lot more music, or is it just like kind of more the same? I don't know about that.
I'm not sure. I just know I've only heard the same stuff.
I've been in like 2 or 3 different biomes, and I have only heard the same kind of stuff, which is very mellow. I really like it, but I do agree. Like over time, I felt like there was more variety, especially if there was like a battle going on, stuff like that.
Yeah. But even then, it's not bad. Like
No,
I'm
it's
not
not
even
bad.
complaining that it continuously plays. Like I like it, but I'm just looking for further enhancements, and I think those lo-fis would be perfect.
And
with
this is
that.
early access, so the developers,
maybe
if you're
more
listening to
coming.
this, add a little bit more music into it because you're killing it so far.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like if you're doing that with just that one repeat song, I'd like to see 2 repeat songs, because then you're just blowing my mind.
Yeah, 2's better than 1. So with the graphics and the music, it really does help. It really helps form this world. Like if you didn't have that stuff, the world and the environment just wouldn't be the same. It offers that atmosphere that's much needed. But the world is great.
Oh, and it's freaking massive too. And it's like, I love how it all interacts with each other, like chopping down trees, falls into other trees, damages other trees, and you could cause like a chain reaction of that shit. So their physics and the environment alone is awesome. But the world is huge, and I like how it's different seeds, so it can be a little different.
All be in 1 gig.
Oh yeah, all be in 1 gig. That's what's insane.
I love it. Call of Duty, you could take some notes. I know you're not lo-fi on the graphics, but you could take some notes.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, get your shit together.
Sorry, segue. Because the 1 gig thing is a big deal. I love them for this. Call of Duty, they're saying that at one point it might not fit on the PS4 hard drive.
I just read that today. Yeah, I just read that.
And I'm like, I think it's a strategy to make it so they only focus on their game. They can optimize that shit. I'm pissed. I'm sorry about that segue. That's such a hard thing. But
welcome to the Call of Duty podcast.
Once again, the 5-person team did a great job making this 1 gig. I'm sure it will go up a little bit more. And because their assets aren't very intense, it doesn't have to be large. But thank you for not making a 50 gig game.
Yeah, all in 1 game. All of this. One gig, and I'm having this much freaking fun with this bad boy. But the thing that I'm excited about, and I learned about this somewhat recently, so navigating that world is kind of a bitch. It feels like you run a very long distance, and you look at your map to see how far you've made it from your base in this direction, and you're like freaking a tiny distance away. I'm not going to use an inch because an inch would be quite the over exaggeration, but you're not that far at all. So getting from A to B, especially if you're going to have different camps, because you got to have different camps. There's some places where resources are better than others.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to be able to have ways to get from A to B. And the last I saw, I don't know if you can ride mounts or anything, right? Like nothing
I
you can
didn't
tame
see
that you
anything.
can
I never
mount.
got to the point where you could ride a mount, but even so, like everything's separated by so much water that I feel like you need to have a boat, and the early boat sucks.
Yeah, the raft is a shit show. The next boat I hear is pretty good, especially since you got to deal with sea serpents.
Yeah.
And they're jack your shit up. But what you can do is make some portals. And that blew my freaking mind. Like, I get we're in this Valheim world, but you're still a Viking, right? Like, aren't you still a Viking? But now we got portals, so we must have some freaking eyeless wizard out there making portals for us.
Well, in this world, I mean, there is pretty much magic. I mean, how do you get there? So,
from Odin sending you to the world
Magic
via Hugin. Huggins.
Huggins. And it's very important because they're planning on having up to 9 biomes by the time they get done with this, and so that's going to be very important to have those portals. So I would be really like I'm glad they had some forethought. I feel like there was a lot of forethought brought into this game.
You know something? I don't even know what I'm talking about. They have the world's best portal in that mythology. That's what they open up the path from Valhalla to different worlds. What's that damn thing called? The big portal light beam that lights you up. That's basically
like from Thor the movie.
Yeah, isn't that that's in that mythology though?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe it's not. Tell me if I'm wrong, but either way, Marvel set them up for victory in my eyes now. So they have portal technology.
We're mixing worlds a lot on this one.
Yeah, we're into 7 days Call of Duty, Marvel. But no, I'm just pumped that they have easy ways to get from A to B and traverse the map, because doing it the first time or a couple of times, no big deal, but over and over, that's really going to be a time sink. And with how big this game is, I'm glad that they brought those portals in for some access to travel.
Think they add enough shortcuts to make it not too tedious. Like, it is a little tedious, like chopping down trees that gets a little tiresome. Their stamina meter and all that stuff gets a little tiresome at times.
Just
but
keep eating.
You got to, and once you get the balance, once you get, everything, it's not actually that bad. It does get a little tedious, but that's,
Yeah, that's survival, man. That's survival in a fictional magical world fighting trees. But no, so the portals would be nice to get you from A to B, because then you can have your cities wherever you want them, and you don't have to just be resigned to one main city where you're doing like one cool build and everything else is just kind of like an outpost. Because you can get from A to B, I think that's going to be awesome for actually building your city.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to make it so that, because that's one of the things that it gets annoying with Minecraft is just, even though there's a lot of stuff you can do to kind of traverse and get to a certain point faster, it just still feels like it takes forever.
Hey, you can at least get a pony in there, ride a pig.
Get a brony.
Get a brony pig.
Oh my gosh. In Minecraft, minecarts, those are kind of fun. I like building minecart systems in Minecraft back in the day.
Yeah.
But the portals make a lot of sense too in this. It feels like it doesn't interrupt the mythology or anything too much, and so I like that. But with with the portals getting resources and stuff like that, this feels like a city building game to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It really does. It has the RPG element. There's a lot of weird elements to this whole thing that like I was not expecting when I first played this, but like the city building, I was not expecting that. And I really, really like the concept of getting it, because I like city builders anyways. I've liked SimCity. I've liked a lot of those. Even StarCraft kind of almost is a city builder. It's a base builder.
Yeah.
This one, you just get to customize so much. You get to, there's just so many things you can do in the base building. And we'll get into that, like with the insane builds that people have done.
Oh,
but even
so cool.
us with the where we're at, because you can do stone and all that, but we're just doing wood right now. And it's great.
Oh yeah. And just the base that our buddies built, Dalvarius and James, a different James, and John. James and John, they built us a badass house last time we were on. We have a badass basement. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like seeing what we have, and then I go and look at the community builds, and I'm like, oh, they got the Tower of Sauron. Holy shit!
I mean,
I feel so inadequate. Felt like the small guy in the gym locker room. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, yeah. No, it takes so much work too, and you have to get good at it, but. Like there's load bearing issues with it. So if you try to build something too big in certain ways, the wood will collapse. You can dig down. I don't know how far or how many levels you can make, but you can make a basement. And so like you make pig pens, you can make a whole city. And I know like there's so many people that have talked about this on the internet. There's just how they don't want to give up their first settlements and stuff like that because they put so much time into it, and that's very rewarding in itself. It hits a reward part of our brain when we complete things together as friends.
Yeah, our first settlement is just a giant warehouse with an open end, and then our next one is like a shack. They just cover the beds and the workbench, and then our next one is actually our third settlement is actually our like semi-main location. But the RPG elements in that are awesome because I love that playing as a group. We had the house builders, they were building the house, and maybe they didn't like building the house, but I feel like they went to it, so they must be liked in it, and they did a cool ass job with it. Me, I went hunting. I've got a shitload of meat and fur and shit like that, built us a pig pen, and I just love that you can be in those RPG elements without even knowing it. I wasn't like if I was building a place, it'd be 4 walls, like a square box. But these guys got a basement, and it's just badass. So I love that element of it.
I've seen you make a butthole defense system. I know you wouldn't do just 4 walls.
Well, for my house, but if I'm doing something to kill, zombies, I'm going to get creative with that shit. Okay. I'm going to line that butthole with sharp sticks and objects.
With the RPG element kind of side too, it has a stat system. So like the first thing you do, if you jump right out, when you first create your character and you land, you jump, leveled up 1, boom, jumping, and I'm like, I felt the reward right away, and I get it. Sometimes maybe someone doesn't like that, but I'm like, I like that. That lets me know that you start walking, you level up, and it does get harder over time to level up. You can take your character into other worlds, which is so important.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I built 2 worlds while we were playing on ours, and then I built mine, and I have a separate character. Then I learned we could swap them.
Oh, you have 2 different characters?
Yeah, I have 2 different characters because I was like, well, I can't play on that one, so I made 2, and now I know you can just swap them between all the different worlds and just keep leveling your guy up, and it's so easy.
No, I hope other games take note of this because that is very important. I do not want to level up more than 1 character unless there's a huge class difference. Like with World of Warcraft, you have different classes. I get that.
Yeah.
This, you don't have that.
Even in Borderlands, you got a level 50 character and your buddies start playing, you want to play. What do you have to do? Start another character because you bring your level 50 in there. Now everything they can't kill, you got to kill all that shit.
It gets harder, yeah.
And then I never want to play that game again with friends because I'm constantly leveling people up. But this one, we had John bring in his badass character. I felt no different, even killing the troll. Like it didn't feel like it affected me. It was just we had some badass on our team.
Yeah, no, it's true. It was definitely a good portion of the game that I liked. I'm all scrambled right now. I'm gonna unscramble real quick. A big portion of the game I liked was because the city building RPG, but also some of the enemies are really fun. One of them being trolls. They're we fought a couple of big enemies, but this is one where we went into a troll cave not knowing it was a troll cave, and we got effed so hard. And then here you are, Tyson's coming in last. He's like, oh, hey guys, I'm coming in. And just as the troll swipes the entrance, I just see you get exploded into blood.
Yeah,
like,
it's funny because we've been playing this, and I'm pretty good at survival games, and even in the trailer, like it shows you dying a lot. I never died. I still have yet to die, except for this one time, which was out of my effing control, and I'm very upset. So I was just talking about, I was like, guys, I still haven't died. Even on my other character, back onto this character, haven't died yet. Then we decide to go see what's in this cave. I bring my gear in. I'm last to the party. Walk through the portal. As soon as anything even appears, I'm dead. And there's the "you're dead" screen. And I'm just like, son of a bitch. I just had to jinx myself. I just had to say it, because no matter what, I was dying.
You never want to hold on to those lives. You want to die as soon as possible, because if that's how you're going to play the game, you're going to be miserable the rest of your life. You're going to be hiding under a rock. Oh, troll came. I'm hiding in my rock.
I'm in the Black Forest with my flint spear jacking those gray dwarves
after
up,
you
dude.
died, so.
No way, man. I'm in there jacking them up. Even on mine, day one, I'm in there getting core wood. I love the combat in there. The parrying, it's so easy. So even big guys, it's just,
Unless you run out of
parry
stamina.
that shit. Don't run out of stamina.
And I run out of it all the time.
Don't run out of stamina. So anyway, how'd this troll excursion really go for us, James?
Everyone died. We decided not to go back in the cave. And then we built, and I don't know how trolls spawn necessarily, but we built a base kind of by it, but I don't think they were spawning at the troll cave, but they were spawning somewhere else from the Black Forest.
Yeah.
And we built it.
And I guess we're
good.
somewhat close to the Black
We're close
Forest?
enough to where at least they're spawning stuff over to us. And that's fine, because we're able to handle it, to be honest. And it's kind of nice to get the troll every once in a while, because you get a lot of stuff from the troll, including troll leather, I believe.
Yeah, troll leather.
You can make troll armor, which I already have a troll vest.
Oh, so you're the guy that's been picking up all the damn troll leather.
I picked up some. I picked up enough to make a vest.
That's the one thing that pisses me off, is we don't get enough resources for all of us when we kill shit like that.
Yeah, no, that is a big deal, or a big issue. But
it makes sense.
When we're all together, though, it would spawn in enough to where we could probably, in a couple of days, get enough leather for everyone.
Honestly, we just need to go troll hunt.
But it was so much easier once you were outside and being able to just juke it. Like, you're just able to jump out of the way or do whatever and just shoot it with arrows. Like, it was drastically easier. I feel like the bow and arrow is one of those ones I don't like it that much, but it's so vital in that game if you really want to get stuff done without dying a lot.
Yeah, and we just got to get better bows to offset that drop.
That drop
it's so shitty with that crude bow.
I really hate that drop, but
no, that troll surprised the shit out of me. I'm over here building our pig pen, and all of a sudden something slams next to me. Like I don't see anything on my screen, but something narrowly misses me, and somehow I juked it without knowing I was juking a troll. I turn around to go like, what the hell was that? Thinking it's gonna be a grayling or something throwing a rock at me.
Yeah.
It's a massive troll. I start screaming. No one's around me. Everyone's off doing their thing. A couple guys are building the house, and I'm just like, "There's a troll! Troll!
It's gonna kill my pigs! Pigs!"
I'd be terrible in a fire. I'd just be like, "What's going on, Tyson?"
It just depends on if you
then we all burn to death.
If you have assets in the area, that's where it matters. So if there's a fire and you have assets in the house, then that's when you're gonna be bad. Yeah, like. Your assets are your pigs. You were really working on those pigs for a while.
Yeah, man, it took me forever to get those pigs lured in there.
All I know is I chopped down a tree, and I was literally an inch on the screen away from that tree rolling down and destroying that pig pen.
Oh my gosh. I've done that a couple of times. But no, so anyway, we turn around, we see this troll, and everyone gets together, and we take that bad boy down real quick.
It was a good, fun... I don't know. It's not really a boss, but it felt like a boss that was coming to attack our village.
Yeah.
And so it was really weird having to fend off this guy while we're building this village, and it just spawned in and was attacking. And you don't see that too much in a lot of survival games. Like 7 days is like blood moon. Okay, you're all dead.
Yeah, 7 days, even with like zombies just randomly spawning around, it never felt like they were coming to.
That's true.
Coming with a purpose to jack us up. And even in other games, it doesn't really feel like it's like a purposefully like this one is. Like
the forest, but this is like a big troll. You don't get trolls that like they send little guys.
Yeah, we don't have leglings and or the leggies or whatever from the forest coming out. The cave monsters or the chicken man.
You don't have those too much. No.
Now they're sending because they send the graylings, the gray dwarves, the gray warlock guys, the troll, and it must be because we're kicking their ass, so it just keeps sending their bigger batter shit at us. I love it.
It feels good. I like it a lot. We'll see what happens if they. I don't know if they. I bet you they spawn based on where if you're in the area or not, because that'd suck if you leave the area and your base is just destroyed.
Yeah, we got to get fences up, but
I think how would they not destroy a fence?
Well, I don't know. It'll give us some type of perfection. Build the wall. We need a wall to keep the trolls out. No, but so I think what it is at least what I've noticed is when I'm chopping down trees or making a big bunch of noise, that's when I start getting mobbed on, and that's when things start coming around. So like when I was building that pig pen, I was chopping a lot of wood down over there, and they were sending a lot of those graylings and then gray dwarfs, and then all of a sudden here's my pig pen coming to fruition, and I've got like airlocks in this pig pen. It's not just some tiny little pig pen. And so I think it's all the noise that I was creating, and then we were killing the stuff it was sending, and then all of a sudden, because it did send those red-eyed magic suckers or the bigger guys, the grunts or something, a couple of times, and then all of a sudden here's this big freaking troll coming.
I also wonder if there's a spawner nearby, because I went across the river in that area, and there's a spawner over there. But
yeah, I forgot Minecraft had spawners and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we're probably super close to a spawner. Some
relations to Minecraft in that, because there are spawners. They have like they have spawners for different type of creatures.
Well, shit, man, that's worth it to me then, because that's just gonna keep getting us the resources we need.
Exactly, it really is worth it.
But no, so the troll taking that thing down was nice. It's gonna be nice getting some troll leather for everybody, at least getting them equipped. But the nice thing that I figured out is you can use the troll to lumberjack for you. Do you know this, James?
I did, because you told me right before we started this.
Yes. But no, so you can do or have the troll lumberjack for you. All you got to do is find a pissed off troll, kite it to the trees you want, and I know it can get you core wood. I believe it can get you fine wood as well. But you just take it to right where the trees are that you want it to do, and then start juking its attacks and let it hit all of the logs for you, because it doesn't care about taking down properly with an axe or whatever. It's just going off of damage, and they're taking the damage, and then he's breaking them apart for you.
Yeah.
And then of course they're going to fall into each other and all that jazz, so you're just going to create a massive tree fall. So one, watch out. But two, I thought that was badass. What an easy way to get, especially for starting out. If you just need that core wood and you know what you're doing and you want to get a jump start on it, just bring in a troll with you and start lumberjacking, man.
Yeah, no, like it makes so much sense, because they are kind of easy to kite, in the sense of like you can pull them over there. You get them you just get them swinging anywhere in a forest. You could probably take down a bunch of trees.
Oh yeah,
and
they're slow.
That's one of the craziest parts, is just the trees cascade falling. They can hit another tree and hit another tree. Like we've had that happen multiple times, where it's just I love that part.
Yeah, and it's like dominoes, and sometimes you think you're fine, and then it wraps around and smacks you in the ass.
But speaking of trolls, this is something that's the opposite of a troll. A very beautiful, beautiful ad's coming up. Listen to it, please.
You've never heard it before.
And thank you for listening to that new ad that we have that might be old but new.
Oh, man, I didn't know that about Anchor Podcasts. Incredible. So what about this deer god?
Dear God, you're a deer.
Dear God, do not make me listen to that thing one more time.
The deer god. So we built a settlement right next to the deer god spawning location. So you have to find the little summoning location, and you have to throw a bunch of deer trophies. 4, right? 2 or 4?
Two for the deer god. Yeah, I think it might be 2 for everything, but
yeah, it probably is. That makes. And
we only got the deer god down. We're not good at this game.
We're too busy making the base and then slapping the base
and slapping trolls.
And no, you throw 2 trophies down, and then you have the deer god that spawns, and then you just gotta take this thing down. And it's not hard, but still you could die if you're not careful.
Yeah,
and we had 5 people though, so I'm sure 2 or 3 would have been a lot more difficult.
And we were using bows, and I think we had shields at this point. And the first time I ever saw Eikthyr was on somebody else's stream, and it was on somebody else's stream, and they got taken down, and they summoned it right next to their house. Like they lured it, I think they kited it back to their house trying to run away, and it destroyed their house. So I was like terrified of this deer. So I'm just like, finally, we got 6 guys playing this. We're gonna take this damn deer down. And it did go a little easier than I thought, but with 5 people, it was still a challenge. But that deer was pretty badass.
Yeah,
That was like the Thor of all deer.
It was like the Thor of deer, and like you grab its head and you take it back to the world's spawn point, which is just a bunch of rocks around this spawner. Where if you die without a bed, that's where you spawn into, and you mount it on a rock that has like the deer god's head on it, and then you activate it, and then you get like a bonus. So if you defeat different bosses, you get different bonuses that you can activate. And that's not, I wish it was passive. It's not. You actually have to activate it with F. Mm-hmm. And, but that's cool. I think that's a really cool part of, they didn't have to add that in, but it adds so much sweetness to the game.
Oh, I love the Eikthyr bonus, that stamina. I guess it's like cost reduction or it depletes slower or something like that. That just makes things way nice. It lasts like 5 minutes and then it's got a 15-minute cooldown after that.
Yeah.
20 minutes basically from when you activate it.
Exactly.
But super helpful, especially in chopping down trees, especially early game. And you get that damn pickaxe from the antlers.
Oh, yeah.
So super helpful to be able to start getting that rock and ores, right? You can mine
ores with it. There's a lot of different stuff you can get with those antler pickaxe, which is kind of a weird concept to use an antler as a pickaxe, but
yeah, well, it's hardened, so it's fine.
Well, that deer is pretty hard, and so it's
very hard. He lives with his antlers out.
Yeah, and no, that was the whole point. Like, it was just fun, but I do hear that maybe things are getting a little harder. Maybe.
Yeah, they so even though it did seem like it was a challenge, even with the 5 people, the community apparently is killing these things much too quickly for the developers' likings. So the enemies just got harder, or they will be getting harder. It was either they just got harder in this most recent patch, or in the next patch they will be getting buffs to some of their stats. Which is a little worrisome because right now a lot of people are having issues defeating like the green slime boss. I don't remember his damn name. So I'm just like, you're going to make this harder. And I think that's like the 3rd or 4th boss or something like that. I don't know. We've only killed the deer.
I mean, and I think I only killed a deer that was in the forest. I don't know if I did the deer god. No, I'm just
No, yeah. He was just really fast and he kept running away from me.
So he's a god.
Yeah, he's a god. He's so fast. My stamina had to refill like 4 times.
But no, it sounds like there's a lot of techniques, though, also that you need to learn over time to defeat it. Like with the slime, it sounds like blunt.
Yeah, it sounds like blunt damage is the key to taking it down. And I'm sure there's other strategies too. But that's one thing I'm going to be working on now that I know that some bosses are resistant to like possibly slash damage or piercing damage. Maybe we do need some blunt action going on. So I'll be the sledgehammer guy. I'll build that deer hammer and start being our blunt dude. No, so it is exciting, and not all enemies. I think it's just the bosses that are getting buffs. At least I hope, because those gray dwarves, the freaking red eye ones, not fun to fight.
They're just and I think they're in the early areas too, so it wouldn't make sense to have them be more difficult.
No, because I mean you're just getting mobbed and waved by them all the time anyway, so it's like, why buff those guys? At least the bosses, I get that.
I get the bosses.
If they're slow, just kite them. So
I feel like the deer was about the right difficulty, but we did have 5 people, and so it was making it much easier.
And it never came after me. I don't know why. It liked you guys more, but so I just sat there.
Because you were over on the other side of the map going, miss.
Well, yeah.
And he's just sitting there trying to launch his bow and miss.
Hey, just because I fired 100 arrows doesn't mean I hit 100. Okay,
this is the guy that never dies because he hides under a rock.
Well, I'm in the base, so that's the safest
place.
Which
is just a big rock.
Well, yeah, it's where the fire is.
That's where the fire is.
That's where the fire is.
That's where the food is in the fire.
But no, so like it's very important to kill the bosses because you get better gear. Like we got the hardened antler from Eikthyr. You get other required pieces from other bosses that just make it able to gather and harvest other other resources. And one of those ones that you can get is the abyssal harpoon. And this thing has been causing a lot of stir in the media right now. A lot of people are doing some insane shit with this. So it is definitely one that is great for killing the sea serpent because you can actually drag the sea serpent up onto land using its like rubber band physics or whatever it is. So you can pull the sea serpent up onto land and kill it there because it can't attack you. It just tries to get back into water. Then you harpoon it, pull it back, and keep hacking it till it's dead. But some people are using this for much different ways. they've opened up the International Valheim Space Station and are trying to fly over the map using the physics that this abyssal harpoon will let them do. So you chuck it at your target, it sticks to them, and then you stretch that band out enough, and they're using like stools and things to hold themselves behind like immovable objects to hold themselves. People are even using doors now because you can just pop the door open and then you're launching. And they're using ramps. And dude, I'm telling you, people are getting insane distances on this shit. I'm very excited to see someone clear the map because I feel someone out there is going to make it happen.
All I know is that if you ever use a portal again, any of you guys are not worthy of being in Valheim.
Oh my
because
gosh.
Only a true Viking would actually use the rubber band effect. They would be doing it the hardest way that you could. Portals, no.
Yeah.
Rubber banding.
This was in history books, okay? That's how they got people across walls with slingshots and catapults.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this is the true Viking way.
But I do love that with the serpent, being able to drag the serpent on. I feel like you said that it might not be a feature, it might be more of a bug, but I feel like that's the way you should do it. You should pull that thing onto the land and kill it. That seems like the right way to do it. And so,
well, especially because one of the resources you get from the sea serpent is the scale, the serpent scale or something, and that sinks. So it's like, how the hell are you supposed to kill that thing in water? Its natural habitat.
No.
And then have that thing sink, the most valuable part of that thing. So it's like, I think you're right. I think it does need to work like that. So I think the elasticity or however that works, they do want it to work. But is the actual elasticity that causes the rocketing effect, is that going to get nerfed?
All I know is before they finish this, they need to make a moon so you can launch onto the moon.
Oh my
gosh. Or maybe
gosh.
the branch, like because there's that big world tree. Can you launch onto the branch? That'd be kind of cool.
I'll set up the first Valheim space station when I go to the moon with my AMC. Diamond hands, baby.
No, but like what? And this just shows the relations with Minecraft in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of creative things you can do in Minecraft. We've seen so many awesome builds made with Minecraft, and this I think does solidify more and more. This is going to be a multi-year game, and as they develop it more and more, it will probably become like a Minecraft where it will never be done. They'll have new versions, new stuff coming out. And rightly so, because it deserves it. I think they have a really good base, and it's already, there's so much you can do that they probably didn't even expect that you could do. And I love those types of games.
Yeah, I think there's a lot still coming out for this game, and I think like Minecraft, it's going to be one of those ones that just lasts for a long time. All the articles I read about this are, the hype is real. This game is badass. Like, we're getting this far, and yes, there's still so much more about this game. So the hype is there, the content is there. I think these guys really delivered an insane game. And what's been insane about this game is the builds that are coming out about this. The community builds that people are going out, and I don't know if they're actually doing this in like a survival setting, like in the survival mode. It must be creative, because they are getting some insane shit done in this game. But despite being in creative mode, the builds themselves are nuts. The ones that I've seen, and my computer died, so literally all my links and bookmarks are gone, so I'm running off my phone. But some of the ones that I saw were the Tower of Sauron. They had the Eye of Sauron on that tower, built up out of wood, or not out of wood, out of stone, I believe, stone and wood. But it was super badass. And they have the Star Trek, like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, you nerd! You knew that?
Heck yeah! And then they have the Star Wars one that I forget about, because Star Wars, is whatever. I'm just kidding.
Was it the Millennium Falcon?
It was the Millennium Falcon. I just had to, razz our Star Wars fans. But no, they had the Millennium Falcon, and it looks incredible. Like, it really looks good. And they've got the glowing balls in the engine section where the boosters are at, or whatever those things are called in Star Wars. Just awesome detail that they're putting into this. And the fact that they're getting these things built and they're not collapsing makes me feel even more bad about myself.
I see it and I think of the largest airplane made out of wood. And that's what I think of, because that's actually a thing in the real world, not Valheim. Yeah. And I see that, I'm like, wow, look, they made this spruce or whatever it is, like that one big plane that's just going to collapse one day and burn down. No, but like
this is going to be like the Lindenberg or whatever that is, the blimp.
Oh my gosh. They have to fill it up with explosive gases.
Next challenge. We need explosive gases.
That would actually be cool. They need to add some more resources like that. No, but I've seen forts or fortresses made out of stone, and I was just impressed that like it looked like a castle. And because of the lo-fi graphics, when you zoom out, it gets so much more detailed.
Oh yeah, it looks
if you look
incredible from a distance.
Everything looks amazing from a distance.
Oh yeah, it's only up close that things get real ugly, like my ex-girlfriend.
Like your ex-girlfriend. Oof.
And one that really pays tribute was into Skyrim's High Hrothgar.
Hrothgar.
Yeah, I loved that one. And what they were able to build with that and the replication of it, so badass. But even more badass is just the actual creativeness of the longhouses and the taverns and the things that people are actually building that they're just coming up with. And the mountain builds where they dig into the mountain and they have different parts of the structure exposed to the outside view. And then the stuff that you can't see is all built or underneath the rock. And I love that. It's totally opened up so many more things that I didn't even know existed in that game. Like even digging out the basement, we could do that in 7 days, you know? But I never thought to like actually make badass structures in 7 days to die. I don't know why. I never thought of it, but now I want to build a mountain structure with tunnels. I feel like it's a
little bit more difficult. I mean, that's what I did. Our last fort was kind of built into a mountain. I had a bunch of different tunnels to get out, and it kind of worked for us. Kind of also killed us. But,
yeah, but I never wanted to make it nice because I knew, well, like you know, like pretty, like actually put like right angles into things and like actually have it look like, I don't know, city builder wise.
It's about survival. It's about survival. 7 Days to Die. Where this one, it's like survival with style.
It's like this old house plus tower defense.
There's a lot of things that they could really do to make this game even more interesting and adding modes and stuff. I want to see mods actually come out. Like a tower defense would be kind of fun actually, where you get a bunch of different creatures coming at you all the time. You have to funnel them, just kind of like we kind of do that in 7 days, but like to funnel them so you have to kill them with towers or something.
Yeah, and that like the really spawners, fun. Like have the spawner, you know it's going to spawn there, so you got to dig out the paths. And like they're gonna spawn and go a certain direction, but as long as you build the paths correctly, you know they won't go over the walls or something like that. I think that would be honestly super fun. There's that feels like where Fortnite was trying to do. I feel like that feels like what and that's what got me excited about Fortnite. And now Fortnite can go have fun with itself in a dark room. I don't care where they're at right now, but their initial builder tower defense had me interested, and honestly a mod like that in here would be super badass.
Yeah, no, it really like there's a lot they could do with this, but like I always still think of 7 Days because zombies, man. If you love zombies, go play 7 Days. Never play Vikings, play Valheim. No, but really though, like
play Valheim. It's
worth playing. It really is. And even for me, where I do like fantasy worlds, this does cover like a good fantasy world. I recommend it to anyone that likes survival. If you like a survival game, you're gonna like this game, I think.
Oh yeah, I've really enjoyed survival games. I loved Ark. I didn't really care for Conan. Minecraft was a lot of fun, but I've really leaned towards survival games as my choice of game for when I have time for it, as my recreational games. And this one I think hits that niche, that point in my soul for survival games perfectly.
Yeah, no, it's about as perfect for me as you can get without zombies, but I am going to go back and play 7 Days to Die a lot more.
Not James's perfect point in his soul is zombies,
apparently. So, and I want a better game than 7 Days. 7 Days is still great, but man, they need to make Valheim. If they could make Valheim, but more like kind of just make 7 Days and mix it with Valheim, it might be really fun actually for me.
Oh, or an event, at least a Halloween event. I'd be fine with once a year or a few times a year events of zombies where it's just like that's the event. Yeah. Dude, they can do so much with this. I'm excited to see where Valheim's future goes, and I doubt this is going to be our last podcast on it. That's at least for sure.
I'm not going to be on any more.
As long as they have a future.
No,
if they don't come out with any cool shit, then we're not touching this again.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you guys again because we still have a lot more to play on this, and we haven't even hit like even close to an end game on this, it's going to probably take us a good year to get through that kind of portion of it, because we have so many other games to cover. I've only put 12 hours into this. Tyson put like 1 hour into it, and that's why he's
don't give me that much.
How many times?
Don't give me that much credit. Okay, I've got like maybe 25 minutes in. That's why I haven't died yet. No, I'm just kidding.
So with that, this has been a great podcast. Any closing remarks you'd like?
If you even like survival builders at all and you have a PC, get it. This will run on an i5. If you an i5 CPU, if you just kind of run the settings down a little bit, it'll run. So if you like survivals and you got $20, pick it up, enjoy it, and just play even a solo world and kick its ass. But it's a lot of fun. Pick it up.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to come for Switch and like mobile, because it could totally run on those.
I don't know, probably. And I heard even first-person view in that game is totally playable. Side note, for some reason, it just totally popped into my head, and I wanted to say it.
But yeah, with closing, go play Valheim. It's $20. It's one of the most affordable games right now that will give you almost unlimited time, like Minecraft. So if you already have Minecraft, you want something more, go pick up Valheim. Let us know what you think in the comments below if you're on our website or if you're on YouTube. Let us know what you think about this game, and maybe we'll even let you play with us at one point. Maybe we'll choose a lucky little listener.
Ooh, a lucky little listener. Yeah.
And also check us out on any of the major podcasting platforms. Make sure to follow us, like us, wherever you're at. If you're on YouTube, smash that bell, actually. You got to bash it with a crowbar, is what I like to say. And thank you guys for listening. This has been the Games Revealed broadcast, and this is James.
And this is Tyson.
Thank you guys for listening. Peace out.
Later.